Hello, my culinary skills and techniques peeps. Welcome to week 11. You are almost done, so let me make sure you understand. You have 10 days of school of this class left. 10 days left before you head on to baking and pastry. So with that said, we'll sort of touch on that on the back end of this. Today we're going to do something special. Chef Sophia is actually going to be teaching your grilling class because this is her favorite. She comes from a family that raises cattle, and you want to talk about someone who knows about grilling. Chef Sophia does. So I'm going to be Chef Sophia tonight, and she's going to be me, and I pass it to you, Chef. Take it away.
So hi, everybody. So I haven't had the chance to grade you still on your meatloaf, but I will soon enough, tomorrow. So anybody has any question about Meatloaf Day? Did you like it? Did you enjoy it? Did you succeed? Yes, no, maybe. Thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs to the side. All right. We have shy people here.
No, I don't believe it.
Grilling. Like Chef Janice said, I am a huge fan of grilling. I think it's the first technique that I actually did. Because again, we have a cattle ranch, and whenever we went to the ranch, my dad, we will kill a sheep or something like that, and then we just cook it off there. Normally it was either rotisserie, or we put it on top of the grill completely out, the whole animal. So I have very fond memories of grilling. Not the killing of the sheep itself, but of grilling the sheep. One day I saw them kill it. I didn't eat that day. For your purpose, I know it says only grilling on our webpage, but grilling and broiling is the same technique. So we're going to talk about both of them. Anybody knows the difference between grill and broil? Thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs to the side. You're muted, Chef.
Kelly knows. Kelly, tell us.
Grilling is from below and broiling is from above.
Exactly. So grilling, we have the heat source on the bottom. You normally grill. You have your coals, your wood, your gas fire, whatever on the bottom. And broiling, the heat source comes from the top. Very nice, Kelly. I know Chef Janet has a couple of pictures for us from the equipment.
I'll go ahead and share that with you. Okay, so guys, this is a professional kitchen broiler, many styles. These can be anywhere from $8,000 to $25,000. Thing about this is old style. What I'm talking about here is this is a huge amount of equipment, and this right here, this section right there, it pulls out, it has the grids, and then the heat's coming from the bottom. Let me change the color on that to make that easier to see. You know, the heat's coming that way, and you can lower right here, lower or raise the grid closer to the heat. This area here, you can hold plates, and then this area here, it can be very hot and you can finish. But if you look at it, it's a huge piece of equipment to do just one thing. So it's a real waste of time. You don't see this anymore in the restaurant business very much, just really old school. So we'll get rid of that. So this is what you're seeing more and more in kitchens now. You'll have a grill. It's either gas or wood, and this is what the station looks like. Nice and long. One side's going to be really, really hot. One side's going to be cooler. Chef will talk about that. And then I'm going to come back to that one. This is what a traditional kitchen line, hot line looks like. You'll notice you have a fryer here. Here we have flat top, saute, could be both of those. You got a steamer here, and then over all the way back here, funny enough, that's the grill. Notice there's a hood going all the way across because everybody's making a lot of heat and steam going on there. All right, Chef, it's all you.
Yeah, thank you. So for this class, we're going to talk about different options that you have, because I know some of you do have grills, some of you have grill pans, and some of you don't have either, but you have an oven. So you can actually do this assignment either way. First, we're going to talk about traditional grilling, the one that the heat comes from the bottom, and the steps that we're going to take to achieve this grill. So this is optional. You can marinate your product. You remember, Chef Janet and I are very focused on technique, not so much ingredients, so we're going to leave it completely open to you on what type of meat you want to do. But can anybody tell me what characteristics we're looking from that produce in order to be, you know, the best candidate for grilling? Is it a tough part of the cow? Is it a lean? Is it tender?
Kelly says tender.
You want tender. You want tender because this is a fast cooking method. So if, let's say if you cook a pork shoulder on a grill, how long do you think it's going to take you? And what will happen to it? You know, the outside is going to be burnt and your inside is still going to be raw. So you definitely want the tender part of any animal that you're cooking, either chicken or pork or the cow, or you can even also grill fish too. But you have to be very careful because they're very delicate. So you can marinate it. You can use a wet marinade or a dried rub for it. Normally you want to let your meat marinate for at least 2 hours prior to grilling. Some marinades, they leave it overnight. That is perfectly fine. You want to have 3 main ingredients on your marinade: an oil, an acid, and a flavoring. Okay? It's up to you which one you want to use. Again, we're not very focused on ingredients, we're focused on technique. You need to clean that grill, because I know sometimes we're watching a football game, we grilled and then we get drunk and then we don't clean it at the end of the night and we just leave it there. So open your grill, clean it. You can either, you know, wash your crate, or I normally also use an onion, half an onion, and you just rub the entire grill and it cleans it very well. Or if you have a grill brush, then definitely do your grill brush first. Now you want to let that grill get hot. You don't want to put your steaks before it's hot. You want that crate to be really, really hot, ready to be grilled. Now, if you have a gas grill, perfect. If you have a coal grill, definitely heat up your coals. If you have a chimney for that coals, that will be awesome too. You start your coals on a chimney and then you transfer it to the grill. You close your grill so that crate can get nice and hot. And then, and only then, you're ready to start grilling. So prepping your grill is part of your mise en place, okay? So you have to be ready. You have to make sure it's ready. And then you can also have your mise en place for your meat ready too. You need tongs, you need your meat. And after you clean your grill and it's nice and hot, you're going to season your meat. If you're not using a marinade, you will season your meat. And I want to show you a picture of how we season. Can anybody tell me why we season this way? See how heavily salted and peppered it is? Can anybody tell me why we do so much? Anybody? Thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs to the side. We do it because most of it, we can lose it during the grilling. It falls off when it starts a Maillard reaction, when the juices start coming out. And we also use it so we can form a nice crust on your meat. Okay? Now, one thing that we are going to grade on this assignment is something called quadrillage, which means your grill marks. Have you seen the grill marks, the little diamond-shaped marks that you get on your steaks or chicken or pork?
I got a photo. That's Kelly's new grill, just saying.
Nah. See the diamond shape? That's a quadrillage. Those are beautiful, but believe me, they look easier than they are. It is completely an art to get beautiful quadrillage. So the way we do it is you have your grill. And like Chef Janet showed you the picture of your grill, you have hot spots, medium spots, low spots. And this means heat-wise. You have very hot, medium, and low heat. Because when you work in the industry, today is going to be really easy for you because you're doing one. But if you work on a steakhouse, you're going to have 20, 30 steaks on fire at the same time. So you have to learn how to use that grill. You have to learn where to put your medium rares, where to put your mediums, etc. So quadrillage is what's going to make that steak or that pork or that chicken look gorgeous. And this, I have a little picture for you guys so you can see it. So this is step one. And please do not mind the minutes. Do not even look at the minutes. That is something not for us. So you start with your tip of your steak pointing down on a diagonal. See how this is your grill rakes. And then you start it on a diagonal. The tip is pointing probably at 4 o'clock. Okay, 4 to 10. You let the grill marks do on that side, and then we're gonna flip it to the other side. But you're going to put it in a completely new spot on your grill. Because when you put your meat on the grill, the meat is cold and the grill is hot, so you do lower the temperature of that spot. So you wanna change it to a new spot so you can create the same grill marks. And then we're gonna flip our steak again to a new spot on the other side. And then when you get the grill marks, same way to the other side. So you're normally doing this, and then you turn it this way, and then you flip it this way, and then you turn it that way. That way the end result is what Chef Janet showed you. You have any questions on that?
We did get one. Yolanda, what if I don't have a grill? How do I get the grill marks?
We're going to talk about that. Remember I said do not look at your minutes. Never, ever, ever, ever follow a recipe that says grill so much on this side and grill so much on that side and for 3 minutes over here, because there are many characteristics of your product that alters that. The thickness mainly, and the type of meat that you're cooking. If you're grilling chicken, you're probably gonna take a little bit longer because, you have to grill it until done. Chicken is, has to be well done. And then what if I'm cooking a nice, beautiful 1.5 inch steak and I want it medium? It's gonna take more time than what a recipe would call for. If you have a thin steak, then it's gonna be really, really fast. So when do you know you are done? Is depending on the desired doneness of your meat. Chef Janet and we use the same method, which is the poking method for our steaks. So you relax your hand. Everybody put your hand up, Yeah, relax your hand. Don't do nothing with it, just relax. With your other finger, you're gonna touch the heel of your hand. That is what raw meat feels like.
Rare.
Okay? Now, if you put barely touching without making a movement, your index finger and your thumb together, do not put pressure, just barely touching, and you touch the heel of your hand, that's medium rare. If you do middle finger, that's medium. If you do the ring finger, that's medium well. And when we do our pinky, that's well done. That's how you want your chicken to feel like. Steaks can be any of your fingers. Fish, you normally want to feel it in the middle finger. Salmon, some people do like salmon medium rare. But fish, you don't want to poke from the top. You want to poke from the sides. Because normally fingers do leave an index in the fish and it looks ugly. Okay? Any questions? Now, when you slice your meat, that's a different story. Once you have that done, let me show you right here. When you have it done, this is what it looks like. And Chef Janet sent this to everybody in our email. Okay? Blue is just the seared outside. Rare, mostly red. This is medium rare. Mostly pink on the outside, which is medium, and then rare on the inside. Red, but it's hot. It's a hot red center. Okay, normally rare, the very middle of this steak is still a little bit cold or room temperature. Medium well and well done. I always have a joke that if you go above medium, you're a steak hater. I eat mine medium rare. That's what they say that supposedly you're supposed to cook steak at, to better taste the flavor of the meat itself. Okay? Yes.
Why wouldn't I want to use my thermometer and poke the steak?
What do you think will happen to that? Anybody knows? If you poke something that you've been working so much at. Exactly, Kelly, your juices come out. And we want all those juices inside that steak. Okay? Very nice. Now, you finally got to your desired temperature. You have your beautiful grill marks. Now it's time to get it out of the grill. What do we do next? Do we immediately serve it and cut it up? Exactly, we let it rest. Remember all those juices we're talking about, but not poking it with a thermometer? We want those juices to settle down, to go back into that protein, to go into the steak. That is what gives you a juicy steak. I don't know if anybody here has grabbed a steak from the grill and immediately cut it and it looks like a puddle of blood, even if it's well done. That's what happens when we don't let it rest. The natural, yummy, delicious juices from the steak just go out. So you gotta let it rest. For how long depends on the thickness of your steak. So normally between, what would you say, Chef, 3 and 5 minutes?
It depends, like if you give me a big old T-bone, that could be up to 12 to 15. But if you're just doing a filet, that 5 minutes is a good. Ribeye, 5 minutes is good.
But depends on the thickness. If it's too thick, woof, let it a little bit longer.
If you take duck breast, it's more. It's 7 to 8 minutes because the duck breast is quite thick and it's quite hard. That's why we used to cook, because otherwise we just tell the customer it doesn't worth to take it anyway, because it needs to be pink inside.
So any questions on your traditional grilling, if you have a grill? Any questions on that? All right, so now we had a question, but Chef, I don't have a grill. So you could do 2 ways. A grill pan and use it on top of your stove. And I don't know if Chef has a picture of a grill pan on hand.
I'll get it. You keep talking.
So either a grill pan and you follow exactly the same steps as a grill. You clean your grill pan, you season your steak, you wait till that grill pan gets hot, and normally the grill pan has the lines, so you are going to work that quadrillage on your grill pan. You let it rest until desired temperature, you let it rest. See how they have the lines right there? So that works as your grill, as a grill race. Okay, so grill pan and grill, similar technique. The difference is the heat source. Now, if you don't have a grill pan or you don't have a grill, you can use the broiler in your oven. So you let that broiler get hot. The same way you let your grill get very hot, you let that broiler get hot. You have two options. You can put your steak, you season your steak or your product, whichever you're doing. And then you can use a cast iron pan or a safe oven pan, oven safe pan. Or what I like to do is use the same rake of my oven, put maybe a sheet pan on the bottom on the next rake, because you just leave it on top of the oven. You don't use anything to put the steak on first. And you want to put the sheet pan on the bottom rake because all the juices that can drip, just so you keep it clean. With this one, it's very, very hard to get grill marks because of that same thing. Because the heat is coming from above and there's nothing between the heat source and your steak. So normally if you use a rake of the oven, you might get some grill marks because that rake got very hot while you were heating up your broiler, but don't have any hopes on perfect grill marks at all. So if you use your broiler, please let Chef and I know that you were using your oven broiler so we don't take points off for not achieving that grill mark, okay? So again, you let it get hot, you follow the same mise en place steps as you do with your grill and your steak, and then you let it get hot, you put it in there until desired doneness. You do have to flip it, okay? You might not have to move it so much for the quadrillage, but you do have to flip your steak and let the other side cook. Remember, it's just the heat source that changes between grilling and broiling. Any questions on that? All right. What about sauces? Does anybody know what they want to do for a sauce? So your web page, it calls for a maitre d' butter, which is a compound butter, which is perfect for steaks. I have a couple of pictures here that I want to show you for your sauces. So we have, this is several different compound butters. A compound butter normally means you grab your butter, you let it get room temperature, and then you're going to soften it, and then you're going to use your mixer or your hand to mix it with any type of flavorings. It can be sun-dried tomatoes, it can be olives, it can be herbs, it can be lime, it can be chipotle. Any flavoring that you want that steak to have with your butter, you can use. So there's almost nothing that you can't make into a compound butter. I've seen teriyaki butters. I've seen ponzu butters. So all of those are very, very great. Now, if you're feeling more like I want to make a sauce, I'm going to show you, oh, this is another picture of compound butters I found. Now, you soften it, you mix it with all your ingredients, and then you want to put it in a log, roll it in some parchment paper, close both sides, and put it in your freezer. That's how you get them to look like a log. And then you take it out of the freezer when you start cooking, you cut little round, and then you put it on your very hot steak. Now, if you're in a restaurant, you want that butter to kind of melt a little bit before it goes to your table. Because if they take a bite of the cold butter and then with your steak, they're gonna think that your steak is the one that is cold, okay? So you want that butter to let it melt before it goes out. One of my favorite sauces in the world to mix with a steak is called a chimichurri sauce. And it's a sauce made originally from Argentina, but all of South America and Latin America use it. Let me show you a picture of chimichurri sauce right here. So it's made out of parsley, cilantro, oil, and garlic, salt and pepper. Simple. Simple, simple, simple. You don't want to puree it. You want it to be chunky like this, okay? So if you do it in a food processor, be very careful. Just pulse it instead of just letting it go, okay? Now, if you're not into cilantro, the Italians have another version where they use basil too, if you want to make it sweeter and not that strong with the cilantro and parsley combination. Another very typical sauces that you find here in the United States would be any type of aioli, works well too. Barbecue, if you want to go for the barbecue sauce, if you're doing pork or chicken or anything like that. There's an Italian sauce, it's called tapenade, that I really, really like, and it's made out of olives and oil and different flavorings. And let me show you what it looks like right here. See all that brown stuff, and it has pine nuts too. Some people make it with pistachios too, and it works perfect. So it's a mixture, and then you put it on the food processor and you cover your steak with it at the end. Can anybody tell me the mistake they did in here?
Good spot.
Anybody tell me what mistake they did in that picture?
Kelly's typing like a demon.
What did she say? Sorry, I lost the chat.
I've lost the chat too.
Exactly, doesn't look rested. They cut the meat too soon, and look at all the juices they lost. Yep. So if somebody serves you that in a plate full of juices, would you say, yummy? No, right? You say like, oh, this is dirty, it's blood. A lot of people get freaked out that they think it's a lot of blood when it's not. So careful. So that's tapenade, and let me write it down here.
I got it, tapenade. Tapenade's the olives, chimichurri is the green sauce.
Mm-hmm. And then one that you see in every single steakhouse in the US, it's a red wine sauce. And it goes beautiful with steaks. And it's a red wine sauce that we made previously in this course. You know, the ones that you saute your shallots, you add your wine, you let it reduce, you add your stock, you let it reduce, and then you either cheat like Chef Janet does and add a roux or a thing or a beurre marnier, or you do the French way and you mount with butter. And I have a picture here. And I want you to look at this picture very closely because I also want you to appreciate the plating that they did. You don't have to compartmentalize your plate. You have a nice sauce, you achieve height, you achieve color contrast. Okay? Pepper sauce is one of my favorites for steaks. It's called steak à poivre. Don't let me butcher your language, Chef Mark.
Steak au poivre.
There you go. Pepper sauce steak. It is also very, very much used in the United States, and it looks something like this right here.
Beautiful.
It's also very French. And I like it if you do the au poivre sauce, you want to use different types of peppers to crack in the seasoning of your steak. Okay? This is a very, very peppery sauce. So if you're a fan of peppers, and some people do different, there's a 5 pepper sauce, which they use, black and white, and there's green. So marsala sauce can work too very well with grilling. Compound butter, and also your salsas, a pico de gallo or something like that. It doesn't have to be liquidy. You can use anything on top. Okay, any questions on sauces or any question on which sauce will work or not?
It looks good, Chef.
Oh, Asian, yeah, Asians, all the curries, and there's a Japanese sauce too, Tatsuko, I think it's called. It's like a sweet A1 sauce type of thing. It works very well too. I have a couple of pictures here that I want to show you, and then I'll let Chef Mark show his pictures of different products that you could do. So my husband actually works at the grill station at a fine dining steakhouse here where we live. This is his drawer. This is his low boy where he has different types of meat. They don't buy the meat like this. They buy the whole filet, the whole ribeye. They cut it and then they vacuum seal it individual portions. This one right here, you see the color difference between this and that? This one is dry aged. So they grab the whole filet and then in a very controlled walking, they let that steak, that filet rest for at least 30 days. So the meat starts to break down, break apart, and it makes for a richer taste and a more tender meat. So if you ever go to a steakhouse and you want to do dry age, please do so. And like Chef Janet showed you, he has the old style broiler on his station. This is all his toppings and stuff and then they have their butter and their sauces to make the sauce really fast. They don't have pre-made sauces, they make them to order. So they have the shallots, parsley, cheese, different things. He works at a casino, so there's normally never a no for an answer on anything. So they have to prepare for any crazy questions from them. They also have this because if they want to really achieve high grill marks on one of the steaks. And this is the other side. He has caramelized onion, roasted garlic, and then they have their stocks for their sauces. I wanted to show you grilling on the rest of the world. This right here is one of my favorite things in the world. So if you have a Brazilian steakhouse in your town, please go. This is called a churrasqueria. It is gorgeous, and it's normally a buffet of just gorgeous meat. So definitely go hungry.
The last time I went there, I stood 45 minutes on my chair before I can move. So,
oh yes, you eat like crazy. Like it's a recipe for gout disease. It is awesome, and you see the different. So the hotter, so if you want medium rare, they put them all the way to the bottom, so they just sear the meat, and then top and top depends on the doneness of the meat. And then there are some churrasquerias where they do it tableside.
Ooh, wow.
So they just bring you your meats on your little forks and they have the heat here and this rotates. Because rotisserie is the first method of grilling that we found. Then we started inventing our own equipment to do it easier. This right here, these are called the Argentinian gauchos. And right there, this is all meat, baby.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a bottom grill just on top of the land, and they grilled all their meat there. And it's on a Sunday, and they grill for the whole family. So it's awesome. And this is a more actual picture. And this is how they dress. This is their gauchos. They also have their own knives that they use, and it's really cool. So all cultures have different types of grilling, which I find are really, really neat.
And usually this type of grilling, they started at 6 a.m. and they put the meat eventually around 3 to 4 p.m., the time to create all the heat that they need. So it's tremendous work.
But don't worry, they have wine since 8 a.m. So it's really nice. So believe me, if anybody has a Brazilian steakhouse on their town, go and try it out. It's definitely a food experience. Oh,
Jose?
Yes.
picanha is a Peruvian version, right?
No, it's a Brazilian. It's a Brazilian cut.
Oh, okay, there you go.
I
It's
didn't
like
know what it
the,
was.
the meat, they put it on like swords and they grill it like you show in the picture. And the cut, they call it picanha.
Ah,
Okay, there you go.
very cool.
So cool. All right, Chef Mark has a couple of pictures for you. If you don't know what to make, he has options for you guys.
Yeah, I will try to be as professional as you are, but
Takes
Well,
practice. Don't worry.
yeah,
I
this
don't
is
normally
practice.
get called professional.
Okay, so we'll start with the grading. So while he's doing this one.
You're having fun. It's not loading. I love it when that happens. Welcome to Google.
It's not supposed to be Google, but no, apparently it's a problem with the sharing. So wait a minute. I will try to open the things.
And I want you to focus really good on plating. Sometimes when we do something so basic that we've done with family so much, you know, barbecuing and grilling outside, we don't think about plating. But I don't want you to think that you are cooking at home. I want you to treat your home as if it were a restaurant. So how would you plate that in a professional way, in a restaurant way? Okay?
I hate this.
You want me to try?
Yeah, try you because, well, it's the same, exactly the same thing that I send you. But
See if I can find it. Okay. I'm opening it up, guys. Sorry about this. Technical difficulties.
It happens. It happens. Any questions on anybody they're thinking about something they want to grill? One of my favorite things to grilling as a side is grilled watermelon, guys.
Nice.
Grilled peaches.
What the hey?
Grilled asparagus. You normally want to do something that you can actually achieve the grill marks in.
Mark, you're gonna talk me through this. I'm just in control of the dial. So
okay. So this is the grilled beef fillet. Well, no, it's a lamb grill. This one with a tomato sauce here. You have some risotto. This one is the vegetable with a corn. So this is it's a Mediterranean fish with sherry vinegar and tarragon vinaigrette.
Nice. See the grill marks that you can achieve on the fish?
very pretty.
Yeah, this is the grilled beef fillet and with the asparagus. So what is interesting is everything is grilled. So the meat is grilled, the asparagus and the tomato.
We have to be very careful with asparagus when we cook asparagus, no matter what method you're using. You don't want to overcook it that you lose the color of your meat, of your asparagus.
This is quite interesting. It's based with the coconuts. Well, usually I don't really like this mixing the savory with the sugary, but it's quite interesting because the shrimp use the juice of the coconut to flavor it and during the grilling aspect. And well, the plating is quite interesting. This one,
I would point out that there's a lot of inedible stuff on this plate, and Chef Sophia and I would ding you on it. I'm just letting you know.
Yeah.
This one?
So this one, it's a vegetable grill. So you have butternut squash, Brussels sprout, cranberries, bacon, and walnuts.
And this one was an interesting one here, Mark. The very last one.
The last one, it's glazed. Yeah, no, because one was the glazed sugar pineapple, but
That
this
looks
one
like a
with asparagus,
chili right there.
it's
Mhm.
asparagus and everything is real. Even the tomato, at the base was cut in half. Take
Right.
the seed off, and you grill it straight with a. So this was for the grilling, and this is for the broiling.
Yep.
So
Nice.
yeah,
Broiled chicken.
yeah, it's basically it's a chicken thigh that they brought with the oranges, and I believe that you've got some olives.
Mhm. Looks good.
With chicken thighs, guys, I recommend start grilling them, get your grill marks, and then finish in the oven. If you try and finish your chicken thighs in the grill, they're gonna be dry.
So this is a crust with a little neck and chorizo.
Nice.
I
Nice.
thought that you will like it, Chef Sophia.
Dude.
This is just a scallop, very simple one, but very hard to get this.
If you grill scallops, you want to make sure to put a lot. I normally use, honestly, I use pan, spray oil to spray my fish, my scallops, and my shrimp, and then I spray a little bit on the grill because they tend to stick a lot to your grill marks. So definitely be sure that you give them enough oil so it doesn't stick. You do that with shrimp, scallops, and fish.
Nice. And notice I put an X through the bush of thyme, just, letting you guys know.
Probably for the color.
Oh, grilled
This is the
oysters.
broiled oysters with sumac.
That looks beautiful, guys. And then,
And this is what I prefer. It's a broiled peach. So it's really, really yummy. I've done it once and it's great. It's as a dessert, it's great.
beautiful. So grilled peaches, grilled pineapple, absolutely great way to go, or broiled, as
Watermelon.
was saying, watermelon, delicious, absolutely wonderful.
Grilled onions, grilled zucchini, grilled tomatoes, grilled anything that you can make grill marks on. Asparagus is delicious too. If you do fish, you want to make sure it's a tough fish. Okay, a salmon, a nice flaky red, a nice tough red fish, swordfish works great with grill. You don't want flaky fish because they're going to break apart on your grill. They're not going to take it.
Yeah.
Okay, if you do pork chops, pork tenderloin, think the same rules that apply to meat, to red meat, to steaks applies to your pork. It has to be a tender part of the pork. Chicken, I would recommend chicken breast if you want to completely cook them in the grill. If you do thighs or legs, then you do grill and oven.
Now, as Sophia will tell you again, this is for plating because it's a grill. So it should bring you lots of colors. So play with that, and if you can, you could see every time the main product was the one you can see. The rest is garnish, or it's more to go with. But really, it's important now you to make fun with that. And it doesn't matter if you have just one element, two element, five elements. Try to use the space that you have on your plate and try to figure out what kind of plate you need to put your grill on, because you will not take a square plate to put the poached pear, for example. You need something deeper. Round. So every protein that you will grill, or eventually only if you're a vegetarian, you will do only vegetables, but try to utilize
Your plate, your area.
but not overcrowd the plate also.
Nice. Thank you. All right. So, guys, let's give a little applause to Chef Sophia. Wonderful job. Thank you so very much. All right. So, you guys actually have 2 assignments this week. And the first assignment that I actually want you guys to pay attention to is the culmination one. Because what we want you to do is you're going to choose any vegetable that you have not already prepared in this class. And you are going to identify its proper cooking technique, and then you're going to use it for this assignment this week. All right? And then you're going to identify one cooking technique that it should never be used with and why. So remember all our cooking techniques: saute, frying deep and shallow, poaching, steaming, braising, stewing, roasting, baking, and then of course grilling. So apply those cooking techniques to a vegetable, and it's okay if you say, hey, the potato can be cooked any way. We understand that. All right, then you're going to choose a starch that you have not already prepared. You are going to identify a proper cooking technique, and you will use it for this assignment. And then you're going to identify a cooking technique that it should not do and tell us why. Explain why each side pairs well with your protein choice, and then defend your information. Defend why you think what you think. Then grill away, baby, and add those 2 items to your grill. What do you guys think? You have not cooked in this class, Chef Sophia says. You guys on it? You guys are almost done. Last 10 days. All right. Kids, survey opens next Wednesday.
Your turn to grade us.
I know. They get to make us better is what they get to do, which I appreciate. Chef appreciates. And yeah, Sabra says I haven't done cauliflower. Do it. Do cauliflower. Sounds fantastic. And just have fun, guys. We're almost to the end. And remember, your final, you're going to be braising. So let's keep the focus. You are almost there. This is your last, and remember, this is your last knowledge check, and then you've got your final written next week. Cool?
Thumbs up, down, middle.
I know, right? There. Oh, I got a thumbs up from Jose, so we're good. If Jose likes it, I know we're good. All right, kids. Chef Sophia, Chef Mark, and I, we're around if you need us. Otherwise, have fun. I can't wait to see your grilling. Have a good night. Thank you again, Chef Sophia. Good job. Thank you, Chef Mark. Thank you, guys. You were wonderful. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.